your host, Tony Moore, and I am joined by my wonderful co-host, starting to my far left. We have all the way from Ohio.
Oh, that's right.
Mark J. Freeman.
And, of course, my chocolate twin.
I'm so far away from you, James Lott Jr.
It has been like a whirlwind. Like we just had Freddie Smith.
Yes.
Thank you guys for tuning into our interview with Freddie Smith. If you missed it, we will be sure to post it on our Facebook and Instagram. Mm-hmm. And if you are not following us or liking us, make sure you do that at DISHIN Days for Facebook and Instagram. You missed an incredible interview with Freddie Smith, and we thank him again for coming in and joining with us and giving us some insight into his time on Days of Our Lives. Also, later on today, we will announce the name of the winner of the headshot giveaway. We have headshots, signed headshots from Chriselle, who played Jordan, Paul, who played Xander, Hira, who played Tori, and Kyle, who played Brady. So that's to our Facebook people. Now, our Instagram, we're still hoping to get to 500, and I will release a prize for our Instagram followers, but we have to get to 500. So make sure you like us on Instagram and get us up to 500.
Yes.
We met our goal.
Tony will come to your house. He will come to your house. We get to 500.
Yeah. You'll be the next person wearing one of these around your neck if you don't do it. All right, boys. So without further ado, it is now time. It is now time to start
DISHIN Days. I'm left-handed. This is hard. I'm left-handed. Okay, here we go.
There we go. Set it and forget it.
That's right.
All right, so
big news. A Brady Horton is dead.
Yes.
Which is why we're wearing the neckties.
We're starting right off.
Look, whenever the necktie killer strikes, you'll see us in our red ties.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm just going to keep it in my bag. Keep it in my trunk.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
And then if I need to strangle a bitch on the... Can I say that?
That's every day. That's every day for me, so we're fine.
Oh, my goodness, though.
It was... Where do we begin? I mean, where do we begin?
Well, I tweeted this out.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if you guys saw it. But all I kept thinking when he threw Will into the fridge and then he fell and everything and the fridge was out, I was like, the pizza rolls are going to thaw out. Close the freezer. That's all I tweeted it. I was like, am I the only one that was thinking that? I think I was. Okay, so.
Yes.
I still am. I was, when the new writing started, we all discussed, killing off the gays and all that stuff, which I don't think. I'm sure there was a meeting, and that is what was said.
Kill off the gays.
I always like to think about the meetings that they have, and like these are the actual conversations that are happening. So I think someone came in and said, "Let's kill the gays." I was giving it a bit because I was like, let's just see what ends up happening. Let's see how they handle the storylines and stuff. And I know we've been getting a lot of people on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and stuff that I read one not too long ago. Somebody was very upset that as homos ourselves that we should be a little bit more upset about the handling of this. I'm all for, I just want to see, and again, we still don't know where things are going to go and this and that. I think it's a big mistake. I think, I get that you do your, your research for the show. So your demographic, what people are liking and what people are not liking. I get that. I get it, and I get that it's a moneymaker. But instead of just saying, a majority of middle America doesn't like the gay storyline, let's kill them.
Right.
And I know it's not let's kill the gays. I get that.
Right.
But at the same time, here's my thing. Instead of keeping your show and catering to these people that don't like the storyline, how about being the change? And how about being the person that says, you know what? I get it, middle America. I get that you may not know a lot of gay people or they're not out to you because they're afraid of you because that's the attitude you have. But why don't we, as adults and humans and people that are working around gay people on a regular basis, take a stand and say, you know what? I get that you don't like it, but this is America today. This is the world today. And I don't care that you don't like it. You're going to see it. And here it is. And I don't care. And it is starting to get to me now because I'm like, be the change. Be the person that stands up and not just have You know, and again, like, it's kind of like what Freddie was saying about, you know, that Sonny became just a character, not the gay character. And it's like, no one's saying that they have to be the head storyline. No one's saying that they have to be on air 7 days a week.
Right.
But if someone doesn't like Adrian, are you just going to kill Adrian? You know what I mean? Like, where's the cutoff to what you're going to listen to, and then where are you going to start standing up and representing and being there and being the voice of change instead of being the person that's and we talked about this a little bit on the way here too, that, you know, there are things in American history that a majority of people that thought was right.
Yeah.
And it didn't make it right.
Yeah.
But just because a majority of America thought it was right doesn't make it right, and it doesn't mean that change should not have happened.
Right.
So, I'm done. I'm stepping down off my pedal.
Everyone in the chat room agrees with you. They're all just like, I mean...
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing that annoys me is that we have given them so much credit for how beautifully they've handled the storyline.
No, we are giving credit to the people that wrote that. These aren't the people that wrote that.
Well,
let's get that straight. Because if they're gonna do this, then they're gonna get
at some point in time, other people will be able to.
Because I'm not giving credit to people that don't deserve the credit. We'll give credit to the people that actually wrote that.
I'm not saying these writers in particular. I'm saying
I need more vodka.
I'm saying Days as a show. Whoever the writers were at the time did a wonderful job with the storyline of Sonny and Will.
Yes.
You know, and have given us the same type of drama that they would with any other super couple that has been on the show. That everything wasn't going to end in roses. Right. That they were going to, you know, and even with the cheating and everything like that, I thought they handled it beautifully with that. With that being said, the death of Will. For this, I think this is the first time I watched something and felt it was so gruesome and so, like, it was kind of hard to watch.
And it was the only one that they showed.
Well,
as it happened.
Well, I think because back then we didn't know who the killer was. We now know who the killer is.
Yeah, but even the flashbacks of the other girls, you didn't see that much of it.
No, but it was just as, when they did show, like, how it happened, it was just as gruesome as this one. But now this is like one we're watching in real time,
right?
And just how it played out, it was such a heart-wrenching thing, because I even felt like Will felt like something was about to happen. Mm-hmm. Now, if I was Will, my white gene would have kicked in, and I would have been like, help me please, like, you know, doing something to like get out. But to see how cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs that Ben now is, and I just feel like there isn't a rhyme or reason now why he's killing people. I feel like it felt like it was a meeting where it was, we need to revamp the show, so we're gonna do this. Yeah. And I don't feel like there's so many different ways that they could have played that whole finding the tie in the trash can, and to Will, he wasn't even really bothered by it. No. It wasn't until Ben grabbed it and he's twisting it and doing all this stuff that it dawned on Will that, like, yeah, you're the killer, gotta go. But he couldn't leave in time. And I mean, I don't know, it was such a, and then to see the body being wrapped up and then going to Will's house to stage it, it was just kind of like, okay, this is where you guys are taking us, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. And then especially knowing that, you know, the whole gay storyline it's just going to be done away with. After you know, and we didn't like some of the things that previous writers did, but that was one of the things that I felt like they handled really well. Yeah. And now it's just gone. Yep. So
James.
Okay.
James, you now get a 10-minute rant.
I'm gonna go back to my vodka.
I'm like, wow, how do I follow those two things? Okay, here we go. For me, I think I've watched Days the longest out of the three of us.
Not out of Wella.
No, Will's got home. Got me beat. I'm only a few years younger than Days are alive, so I wasn't obviously couldn't watch the whole 50 because I'm 46. But no, okay. So for me, I looked at it the ways you looked at it, but I was at also as from a character standpoint. The character of Will is a legacy character. It's a character that's been on since pre-birth.
Yeah.
The whole Sammy, Austin, Carrie storyline, Lucas. I mean, this Will character is tied to so many people, and I did a Look Who's Related. You relate to almost everybody on the show. And for me, it came across as a jump the shark moment. If you know what jump the shark means, it means when you do something that takes over the edge and kind of ruins the show almost. I watched that death, and I was like, as I was watching it happen, I'm going, I think you're ruining the show right now.
Yeah.
This is the biggest mistake you could have made.
Yeah.
It just even beyond the gay stuff, I was going by the Will part. He's Will Horton.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just really ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
That you would kill Will Horton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, I couldn't believe. I was watching it as the life was coming out of him. The life was coming out of me at the same time as a longtime viewer. And as you fans know, I'm a big character person. And I love all the characters and family tree and stuff. That really was like you're killing off a major part of the family tree. That's so weird. That was just so weird to me.
Yeah.
So I completely agree. I disagree. I mean, I totally agree with that. Big mistake. Shouldn't have done it. And I mean, Ken Corday, yes, is the head of all of this. So, of course, it starts from the top and then goes down to the writers. So, and then the fans, they you know, soaps are scared right now. General Hospital just debuted their new head writing all of a sudden. It's like the soaps know that the writing's on the wall in a way, but they have to be careful how they make their decisions because
okay, and I get that they're trying to bring back the way days used to be.
Right.
But in my opinion, the world has progressed since those days of John and Marlena, Bo and Hope, Kayla and Steve. You know, we've progressed so much just as a society. So why not embrace change? Embrace the fact that these characters, they haven't been together, you know, so why force them together, you know, just to rekindle, you know, what the show used to be. Like, I feel like we've been on this journey, good or bad, where we've dealt without Bo for an amount of time, and we've seen Hope move on. We've dealt with Kayla not being with Steve. You know, we've dealt with so much, and I feel like we need to progress instead of moving back, because I feel like they're taking us back and then they're going to move us forward, and I don't know if I want to be moved forward using the past formula. Does that make sense?
I agree
100%. But for me, I don't mind both. So you got to find the balance. So I agree what you're saying, but it's like there needs to be a balance. There should be an intergenerational balance. You can have the newer characters, the younger characters, and there's a way to do it.
Yeah.
That could really work.
And the other thing, one of the things that was mentioned in these articles about revamping the show was that they wanted to get back to the romance of Days of Our Lives and the families of Days of Our Lives. So how is Will Horton not family? And how is that storyline not romance? Yet you're going to... So you're not doing what you say you're going to do. So whatever.
Now, I did have a problem, because one problem was a technical problem I had, and someone else brought this up on Twitter.
The open refrigerator, the food's going to fall. I know. I already mentioned that.
I wasn't really at that one. I wasn't thinking about the refrigerator. You know, that made me laugh, actually, that part. I was like, oh, the refrigerator open. It's a nice refrigerator. No, the thing that got me was suddenly, was it me, but wasn't it like the lights were on when they were talking, then suddenly in the middle of it, it got really super dark, and that red light was on. I was like,
outside light was
where did that come? I'm like, where did that come? Like, they made it so, they were shooting different angles. Like, is this like an episode of Criminal Minds? All of a sudden, they're trying to get all angly. It was like, it was really weird to me. And I was like, that transition was kind of weird to make it gruesomer.
Here's my thing. I've never been choked before. Thank God.
I'll show you.
But
I got this.
But I feel like with Will, I would have gouged an eye out, because I mean his hands were loose. I would have, kicked him in the.
Well, Ben's kind of hunky though.
Hunky or not?
Will's not a little scrawny little thing.
I mean, but crazy strong. Strong and crazy at the same time.
There would have been quite a struggle. I wasn't gonna. You wouldn't take me out without a.
It's a daytime death.
I get it, but it was just, and then to see it from his point of view, and to see his eyes get cloudy, and then just I will give a little kudos to this in the fact that we saw a bit of remorse from Ben, in which he realized what he did, and I think there was a moment where he's like, he felt like I can't keep doing this. Like I don't know why I'm doing this. You know what I mean? Like I felt that from him from a moment as he laid there next to Will's lifeless body.
Yeah.
And again, I don't get. You have, first of all, you have that much hatred for Chad that you will now kill people so that Abigail will be with you.
I guess.
That makes no sense to me. And you have still yet to reveal to Abigail that you know that her and Chad have been together. Yeah. Maybe you should release that, and then you can release the cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs that's inside of you.
Yes. Yeah, because it's kind of weird. We don't really know the motivation.
No.
He was never dressed up, so he never wore ties. I mean,
but he got a whole collection of red ties.
I'm like, I think it was just a.
Did he not pull everything out and throw it away? Yet there's still one tie.
Right.
Like it just whatever. It's just I don't know. I don't even want to give it any more airtime because it's stupid.
Well, and then with everyone's trying to like put the pieces of the puzzle together. Abigail is still running around, to Chad and secret meetings and stuff.
And she knows the way through the secret passage now.
That's right.
What many of you don't know is that Mark J. Freeman already knew about that secret passage.
You know what though? I was going to say this since we're talking about the secret passage. I do believe you watched Santa Barbara along with me. The tunnel between the Capo and the Lockridge. That's what I'm having flashback to. And then with A. Martinez, I'm just bring everybody from Santa Barbara on Days of Our Lives and I'll be happy.
Except they can't bring Augusta because she was Vivian.
No, well,
right?
They could. I wouldn't be. I'd be down with that.
Gina.
Sophia. That's a whole other after show.
Sorry.
But no, that's what I was like, the tunnels. I kind of like that. I kind of like that it's there. I'm hoping, again, I will say this, that we see the Brady pub, since it's not gay owned, it should be fine. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do that every time now. And hopefully we'll see like some more of the, like we have Bowen Hope's house now, so hopefully we'll see, maybe we'll get the DeMera mansion, like the whole thing back and all that.
Now, what was kind of weird was Guy Wilson's voice was hoarse, I guess, that day. I wonder what was going on.
Yeah, I think he was like,
what's going on?
I say in the car, it's like, maybe he feels the pain of the strangulation from Marlena. So he got hoarse.
He was really hoarse. Like, I tried to help you. I'm like, I couldn't take it.
Maybe he was sick that week, and they were like, we can't reschedule because you off the cast list next week, buddy.
Yeah. He probably was out. He's a sports person. I bet you he was out watching a game, because I get like that after Ohio State games.
Oh, really?
Me too.
I do. I do. My neighbors are like, I thought a gay guy lived there. Who's barking?
Oh my God. And that whole story, okay, we're going to get to it a little bit. It's kind of a storyline adjacent to this, but Stefano had no lines on Tuesday.
No. Andre was saying his lines.
I think so. It was really weird.
They're like, okay, let's put him in a wheelchair. We're giving him oxygen, and Andre, everything he's supposed to say, you say it.
It was so weird.
And we'll just push him through scene.
It was so weird. I was like,
I'm sorry, this is a flashback to Alice to me. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Absolutely what it is.
When he wheeled her in and like whatever. So
I mean, I would honestly, and I think I don't know if we talked about this or if this is just, I had this conversation with myself in my head because it happens a lot. I would rather just buy Stefano and let Andre take over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's almost silly.
Yeah.
Like, and this is my point too with this bring everybody back. That's fine if you want to bring everybody back, but clearly it's not, it's like there's an issue.
Yeah.
I'd rather just let him go, do his own thing and let somebody else fill that spot.
Yeah.
And I don't, okay, yes, people are going to get upset, but who cares? Like, are you here to make everybody happy or write a good show?
It's progression. You know what I mean? I think now we are at a point where, and
should we have the same characters 50 years later?
No. Well, there's no.
I think that's a question we should be asking.
Well, I mean,
there's no way.
On some soaps it works. Depends.
But there's a progression.
There is a progression.
Like I feel like it would make sense. Like as much as I love Stefano, someone who was just as evil, if not more.
Yeah.
To kind of fill in his shoes.
No, I agree with that. No, I agree with that part. But I mean, there's some people are good. They can stay on for a long time. But no, I agree with Stefano. I agree with you on that one. It's kind of.
I don't know.
But also, I will give it. I really am rooting for Abby and Chad.
Yeah.
She came through the window and was talking to her at the place, and then meeting up. She's going to him. I really am rooting for them.
Did you? Okay. When he came through the window.
Yeah.
there was a point where like I was looking at Abigail and she's putting on the big hunky sweater and all that kind of stuff, and all of a sudden out of the corner of my eye I'm like, somebody's at the window, and all of a sudden you see Chad just like
he did,
and I'm just like, first of all, who does that? Like, who,
I know.
Like,
well, he's done that at my house once, and I was like, Billy, just come in the door, you silly.
Oh my god.
But other thing I was going to say, since we're on this subject of Billy and this whole thing, and I tweeted this out the other day too. I don't know if you saw this. I'm sorry, Billy or Chad and Andre are the new super couple, in my opinion. I love seeing them together.
Yes.
I love their interaction.
that sort of sibling rivalry.
Just the generation difference.
Yes.
And I honestly feel like it's the old 1965 Days of Our Lives versus 2015. Like
they play off of
butting
each other
heads.
very well.
And I just think it's
agree with you on that
brilliant
completely.
and genius, and that has nothing to do with the
And
writing.
we can't forget that the person who finds Will is Gabby.
Well,
she
she screams.
Yeah,
So
at the end.
it's got to mention that she's the one who sees him.
And I'm sorry, but it seemed too easy for, I don't know where Abby lives in relation to Will, but it seemed a little too easy for him just to carry a bag and be able to break into Will's.
Well, it's something that happens all the time in Salem. They're like, oh, it's another dead body.
And then takes a phone call. You trying
the same thing with him running through the hospital with a mask on.
Right.
And nobody's like, oh, there's a masked man running through the hospital.
Yeah, there was a moment where I was like, I slightly rooted for him, and I was like, "Get out! Like,
get out!
Gabby's on her way.
Yeah,
get out!" Because I also didn't want Gabby to be the next victim. But it's like you don't have time to talk to Abigail. Like, you don't have time to talk to her. And no one, no neighbors, no nothing. No one heard the phone call. Nothing.
Yeah.
And then did you notice that he did? Maybe this is me being nitpicky, but as he was doing all this stuff with the body, no gloves.
Yeah, I know. I was like, well, someone else was in there too. They go, fingerprints on everything.
Yeah.
Fingerprints should be on everything.
Yeah,
right?
on everything. Right. So I don't know. Maybe that's how
he gets caught.
Yeah, because there's. Because the way that he's putting it is that they missed each other. Right. So if his fingerprints is all over him, then it's like,
right. I don't agree with you on that one. I just went too.
My girl Sarah has called it. It's Chandre.
Chandre. I like that.
Thank you, Sarah.
I like that.
That's the new. We're gonna tweet that out. Everyone, let's start tweeting that out.
So you guys, we talked about it. I think we caught everything we got on that storyline because folks were totally wondering what we were going to think.
It was a lot, and I actually didn't watch the episode until today.
Which one?
The death.
Oh, you saw it?
Will. I watched it today, and it was.
I think I actually watched it on Friday when I got home.
It was gruesome. It was just very. It was heart wrenching to see that.
Yeah.
He was.
Well, and I kept thinking all week, like, what is the justification for killing again? You know what I mean? Like, these other two people were killed. Chad's on the run. Why kill another person?
Right.
I mean, it obviously was explained, but at the same time, again, I didn't believe that even Will really 100% thought that, oh, you're the killer. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I don't know.
I keep thinking they're on an island somewhere to be alive. Oh, we did that already. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right, did that already.
Right, did that.
Yeah.
All right, so
yeah.
They're at Fire Island now. He's serving happy hour on Fire Island.
Oh my god, that's so funny. Or in Provincetown, one of the two, right?
Google Fire Island if you don't know what Fire Island is, ladies and gentlemen.
So we're gonna go on to, I call it Stephen Bow. Because basically it was just Steve trying to find his Stowe.
I do it for everybody now.
Beeve.
Stowe.
Yeah, Beeve Stowe. Because it starts out with Maggie talking to Hope about, this kind of the wedding stuff a little bit, and the old days of her and Beau a little bit. Then he switched to I call him the hunky British captor, who was trying to torture him to talk about that serum. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So we still don't know who's behind that, obviously, but they want to know the serum that Victor's working on, and he's injecting with this weird stuff, and he's like, just hunky laying there, all just like, trying to fight or whatever, but he's really trying to trick them. He was tricking them. It was very interesting. And for a man of his age, won't say his age, he looks great, first of all.
Yeah.
But he claims it was foot fungus because he's doing it for foot. That's kind of funny.
My God, I was like,
for foot fungus.
I was
And
like,
as he laid back though, he gave a like he chuckled.
He did.
But it's almost like this is what I thought. I thought they were giving him like a truth serum.
I thought so too, but nothing was happening.
But I think, and then I thought to myself, this is Bo. He's been in the ISA for years.
Yeah.
I'm sure this is not the first time his body has received truth serum, and he knows just how to fight it off.
he's got built up antibodies.
Yeah. He's just kind of like in his mind. He's thinking like, these people really think I'm gonna. Okay, I
don't
got
know
it.
who I am. They don't know who I am.
Truth serum, activate. Yeah. So, but yeah, I thought. Seeing Steve go into the cell.
It kind of made me laugh though with Steve too.
Well, because then all of a sudden the guard comes in.
Right.
And, and then he fights him off or whatever.
Right.
And then.
These guards can't fight.
Yeah, and then he gains control. And then we find out just a little bit more that the guard really doesn't know why he's being captured. It's about this serum. And he receives cash and doesn't know from who.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, Steve gets too close and he gets wonked. And then the guard is gone. And. I feel bad for thinking this, but my first thought was he shouldn't have looked out of that eye with the patch.
I wrote down he acted the S out of that one eye. The whole scene. He was like just that. I mean, how do you do that? He's acting that one eye.
Yeah.
Doesn't it throw you off when you have part of your vision taken away?
Yeah.
He acted his ass off with that one eye.
In that little square box that he had.
Oh. It's
like, okay, you're going to go in there.
Right.
And now you're going to do...
There's a laptop and a computer in there. There's a computer in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, a computer? I mean, it's a dingy place. It's like this weird, computer.
I don't know. And maybe this is just my angst.
Tell him.
Towards life today.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't care about Bo. I'm really I honestly drift off during those scenes. And I'm just kind of like, whatever. I really just don't think. Well, we don't know how long he's back, and I don't think he's back long. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's why too. I'm like, I don't want to invest in it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because I know he's not going to be there long. But yeah, I'm just like,
I just kind of want to know this again, where they're going with this storyline because.
So Bo is kidnapped. Because he knows about the serum that his mother is supposed to be getting?
But from his father, who's having it developed.
Yes.
He goes, what's your father developing? What is, and he was like, foot fungus.
Well, but then they said that the serum is going to be worth millions.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why.
Kidnap somebody and tie him up and torture them because... It just doesn't make sense. This is my point. Is I get you want to bring people back. I get you want to give them a story. Then sit down and write a creative friggin' story.
I feel like, mark my words.
Mark my words.
Mark my words. It's my new spinoff show.
I feel like it will all make sense. Yes, I feel like the dots are there and we're not able to connect them. I kind of feel like with this storyline, Bo obviously is involved. Steve is now involved. Victor's involved. Aiden is involved in some way. And of course, Hope is going to be involved. Yeah. And whoever the mastermind is,
connects to all of them.
Yeah,
or at least most of them for some reason.
And I'm wondering who the mastermind is. If it's someone that's coming back. Mm-hmm. That was really huge, and it's going to be one of those moments.
Right.
Who could be coming back that's that huge?
I don't know. Yeah. I only started watching Days in the 90s. James Lott Jr.
Well, do we think that? Because I still think that there's something with the Martin house and the Martin family.
Well, I
don't know if they're bringing back this whole family. Maybe it has something to do with that.
I don't know. I feel like with the Martin house and the whole bicentennial,
and John saying he wants to find out about his past.
Yes.
I think.
I think it's connected to John thing.
Because don't forget that was discussed at one point.
And then we haven't seen them for a few weeks.
Right.
So I don't know. There's all these dots, and it's a setup for the Bison. I think those weeks are going to be.
I agree.
So overwhelming for us, I think.
Now I'll go into what you're saying as the historian of the group. I think it's really funny when I look at this storyline. It goes back to exactly what I almost called you Steve. Mark is saying is
that's my fake name.
Your fake name, Steve.
When people and I want someone to know my name.
Mine's Kevin.
I say you always have to. Do you have a fake name?
No.
You have to have one and have it ready and know what it
Yeah.
is because it's got to roll off your tongue. Someone you don't want them to know your name. Like, hi, I'm Steve. So if you ever hear me say it,
I'm Skylar.
yeah.
Okay, got it.
Okay, unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Okay, thanks.
Because you saw my face when he said Skylar.
Did I try it?
Steve's my favorite.
Yeah,
Yours is what, Kevin?
Kevin.
So we got to come up with
I
a.
can come up with a name. I got to think of that. I'm just so truthful. No, the thing. Okay, what I was going to say. I know. I tried it again.
Benjamin.
Benjamin.
You look like a Benjamin.
Do I look like one? Really?
A Benjamin.
Oh, funny like that.
Benjamin.
Actually, what I was going to say is that as a longtime historian, not about me, that they really are trying to go back, and that's what they used to do is have these kind of unrealistic storylines where they kidnap people for weird reasons and reveal someone really big behind it.
Yeah.
So they are. I think that's what they're doing. I mean,
Yeah.
well, it doesn't make any sense. That's kind of crazy. It's a dingy, but whatever. That's probably what they're trying to bring back.
Who's the chick that's coming back? Maybe it has to do with her.
Belle?
No.
I was like Martha Madsen. I was like,
Bell's involved.
What's her-
That would be
Ava?
shocking. Oh, Ava.
Because remember, she's coming back.
Oh, she's involved with Steve for a
She's
minute.
coming back. Yep.
Was she?
Yep.
Yeah, for a minute. They were
Yeah.
for a minute. Mm-hmm. Yep. Check your past. I was
You almost said check your local list.
I almost did say that.
I don't
Too
know.
much voiceover work.
I know too much voiceover right now.
We have not mentioned
Yes.
the video that Steve found
Yes, so,
of them
on the computer.
of Bo
Killing.
being tortured,
And then-
the end him being. But I feel like, of course, Steve is going to go back and give wrong information
Yes. Which
he did.
because yes, he did. Because notice that he uncovered the camera because the camera was covered.
Right. Yes. Right. Yeah.
So we've seen all this footage
Yeah.
up until this stabbing,
Yeah.
and I feel like after that is when they brought him back in, but then they covered
yeah,
the camera.
I agree with that one.
So somebody knew that Steve was onto
Yeah.
them, and
probably.
kind of
Well,
prepared.
you would think. I mean, a compound wherever they are in Mexico, they would know. They would know he's coming.
Yeah. So I don't know this storyline. I know you don't. Most people don't care, and even the people. But
I know, I've seen that.
I don't know. It's a little interesting.
I like Bo. Sorry, guys.
It's
I like
interesting.
Bo. I like Steve. I just wish, the storylines be a little better.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
It's interesting.
it's
I will say that.
I agree.
Speaking of Bo and the
Yes.
serum and everything, we have Caroline, Victor, and Kayla.
Yes.
Now, Kayla is so against
I believe it.
her mother getting this serum.
Yes.
And Victor is all about it. Even Roman was convinced that
Yes.
this will help. And Kayla is just, and it's one of those moments where I'm like, first of all, Kayla, I get that she's the chief of staff. But this is your mom, so you're a little too connected.
See, that's
to
what I
this.
kept thinking too. Aren't you? If it's your family, you're not allowed. You have to remove yourself from those kind of situations. In
Where's
being
the
a
other doctor?
right?
But you
Yeah,
don't
we
want-
didn't see him that
But you
often.
don't want him. You don't want him coming back.
We don't care about
Daniel
that.
Jonas. He don't want to see coming back. That's the other doctor, Tony. You don't want him on there.
He was in his office. They were like, "You just stay in your office." You
Or it
just
could have
stay in
been
there.
hashtag Maxine's son.
Could have been.
You know, look,
But-
I'm sorry. I, as a former nurse, I understand that Kayla would be involved on some level, and she would be like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure this should happen for my mother.
But is she unsure because of the fact that it's her mother?
Yeah,
Or
period.
is
I think it's all the above. I think she is holding up her oath. Is that it's my mother, but also I'm a scientific professional because her and Roman had a talk, and Roman said we've always disagreed on things before because I come from and I mean I think it's on both levels. She's like, it's my mother. Oh no, 3 levels. My mother, Victor, and also it's the pain. We don't know what's going to do. We really have no idea what's
But
going to do.
I'll say this: if you've ever had a family member or somebody that's that close to you that's dying, you do whatever you can and you try every trick in the book to save them.
Yeah.
So that's ridiculous.
So instead of saying no, I feel like she should have
been,
found out
yes.
more about it. There should have been a scene with her and Dr. Silas talking about this serum. Salinas. What did I say?
Silas.
Whatever.
He's eating dinner. He loves eating dinner.
Right. And I also feel like there is such a powerful underlining love between Victor and Caroline
Yes.
that I don't think Victor would have ever allowed for
No,
anything
he
bad to happen
absolutely would
to-
not have.
to
He
her.
absolutely would not.
Well, I will give you points. I still disagree, but I'll give you points.
What do you agree? What do you disagree with?
I mean, I think she should be cautious about it. But I do agree if they added a scene.
Nah.
If they had added a scene with her and the doctor going over it and talking about it, and she came to the conclusion, okay, I will give it a try. But there was no scene.
There was no scene. It was almost like she was convinced by Roman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, so I will give you guys that one. That one I'll give.
I have to say, I love the flashbacks between Caroline and Victor.
I wrote down.
Yes.
And the flashbacks of Stephanie's birth. I wrote that down too.
Yeah.
I wrote them all down. And I loved it.
Yep.
Yeah. I actually like seeing the old footage of Days and like those moments that I obviously missed.
Here's my 1 minute rant. Just 1 minute. That's all I need.
Are you sure? Because Mark took about 20.
Yeah, I know. So I'm just going to do one. Do one.
You say I don't talk enough.
It's my turn.
Be careful what you ask for.
My turn. I guess I'm feeling at home with my family. I'm like one of 12 kids. It's crazy. Here we go. Which camera to look at? When you do a 50th anniversary, you should always show flashbacks as much as you can, and as if it's part of the story. You should always show flashbacks. The fans want to see that. So I was happy every once in a while they did the John Marlene here and there. Mm-hmm. I'm glad they're doing that. It was like, you need to do that. That's my rant. That's all right. This was quick. I just think you should do that more.
That's not a rant then.
Well, they're not doing it enough. I know it's not because it's short. I say what I need to say.
Let me show you how to do a rant.
And we're back.
Anyway, just saying this, but I wrote that down. I love the flashbacks of seeing Victor and Carol and their love.
I didn't realize what like the strong connection that they have.
Oh yeah, they have. Yes.
It's almost like that. I almost see it as this, and you let me know if I'm wrong or right. Sean and Victor. Sean was like the good guy.
He was. That's what it was.
Victor was the bad guy.
He was.
Sean is the one that your family and if you were picturing a picture perfect world,
right?
It was Sean,
right?
But her heart belonged to Victor,
absolutely,
and she went against that,
right,
and went with Sean,
and she loved Sean, of course.
Yes.
She grew to love him, and she loved him. We're not pissing on that at all.
Right.
She did love him, but no, her heart. She went with the good guy. Mm-hmm. She made that choice. And luckily, unfortunately, Days of Our Lives was on back then when they could show it all that, but that's what it was. So when Victor came to town and everything started happening, it was like, yes, we do have love. We created this child. Because Caroline was a good woman on the show and revealed a flaw.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She had a baby with somebody else, with Victor Karyakis.
She got a baby daddy.
She did.
But a good one at that. He got money.
He's the best.
Yes.
I love me some.
Mm-hmm.
So I was glad to see. Oh well. And also the eerie thing was
it's a bug flying in here. Sorry.
The visions that she was getting of Bo.
Oh yeah, at the same time they were connected.
Yeah. And to see Steve like listening to her and being like, "That's what I saw," and like his face read like, "That's what I saw on the videos."
Yeah, she knows.
Yes.
Like she knows that something is wrong, and I think Hope is now worried because I think she's now getting that Hope Bo connection, and I think I feel like she's starting to sense that something isn't right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like they showed the Caroline Bo because they did have their own kind of relationship on the show. So she was no nonsense, and he talked to her a certain way that the other kids didn't talk to her. Mm-hmm. They're all like "Mama," and he was like "Ma," he's like "Ma," and she's like "Don't talk crap to me." Like I know what's going on. Like she was always with him. It was a little different. They could talk real to each other. That's why when he left with her to get her help. It all made sense to me.
Right.
So the fact that they're having that, I like that part of the storyline. That they have like this kind of mother-son connection, and she's like, something's wrong with my baby.
Yeah.
I love that.
All right. Well, there's that.
Well, and you remember too, you were kind of saying this about Hope. She used to always be like, something's wrong with Bo. She hasn't said that.
No.
That.
Not yet.
It's going on the wayside.
Watch, it's going to happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. So that's that. I'm wondering I hope that this serum works. It looks like it has. Carolyn is up. Looks like she said she felt like she's been sleeping for 24 hours. So yeah.
So we just see what happens. See if she really is okay. I guess we'll find out. See, and then what that means for her and Victor.
Well, she woke up, so
I'm saying,
supposedly she's okay.
But anything can happen on Days of Our Lives.
That's true.
But she's
not gay, so she should be fine.
Oh my God. Speaking of not gay.
First is Billy Flynn, and now it's the gay.
I know. Speaking of not gay, we got JJ and Clyde, which there are many parts of this storyline I actually kind of smiled. I'm sorry, I did.
Smile out of laughter?
No, I actually kind of enjoyed some of it. Actually,
You're the only one.
I'll be the only one. I'll be the voice of whatever.
Well, here was my issue. It's not really an issue. I'm glad that JJ finally went to Roman and said, like,
Me too.
Clyde.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm glad that. But then the whole execution of the plan, like Clyde is a little smarter than we. You know, he's not the country bumpkin that he tries to come off
to be. Yeah.
And trying to see JJ keep him there and have him talking and all that kind of stuff, I was just kind of like, this is the wrong way to kind of go about it, because Clyde seemed a little more forthcoming with information when they first met.
Yeah.
And so he's not going to be like that now.
Right.
And then the fact that, you know, JJ's call came at the same time that Chad was pretending to text him and say, like, I know what you did and I want money. So in Clyde's mind, it's like that person was JJ. So it's almost kind of like whatever plan Chad had is now, he thinks it worked, but it actually kind of
I just, and I said this before. I'm just so like this whole JJ's now DEA. Now JJ's telling Roman what to do. Now JJ's telling, like, I'm like, come on. Like, it's so ridiculous that you're making him into this, now he's super sleuth. You know what I mean? Like, what? Come on.
See, I saw it a different way, kind of. Let's turn on.
God.
It's God. God, is that you? No, well, I saw it slightly differently. I mean, I thought it was ridiculous too, but I thought what was funny was that this is what JJ does. He is impulsive. He makes decisions without really thinking. He's immature. So
I agree with Not going to argue with that.
Okay, so I saw him going rogue as kind of like, this is what he would do, of course.
Okay, right. I guess if you look at that,
that's how I kind of looked at it. That's kind of looked at it. And did you see this episode today? We're all over the place in this episode. You can tell it was a very big week. But I kind of saw it that way, where he would obviously go like, that's what JJ would do, being stupid and like trying to trap Clyde. But I was shocked it actually worked. I was like, oh, well, it works. That's kind of ridiculous a little bit too, but it did work. I like Clyde. The way he was like, just like, okay, you got me, okay. Like, he was just like, I'm not really going to worry that much. I'll go to Florida for a little bit. But when he was saying goodbye to Aiden and JJ, they were all shaking their boots a little bit.
So this isn't like his last.
I don't know, but it's like he was just like, well, don't worry, you know, I'll be back. Or he was just like he had that kind of twinkle in his eye, like, yeah, don't worry. So there's potential later for something with him, but I just kind of liked this way he was kind of acting. I kind of liked it.
Abigail, postpone that wedding, honey. Like,
I know.
Like that family's in turmoil. Like, why would you?
They need Jack back.
You've said a long time.
Has not. No, you have not.
It's resurfacing.
Wow. But I will say, JJ and Gabby. I'm seeing potential a little bit in there.
Yes, but the way that it started about. First of all, Gabby, what were you doing at the Dogs?
Yeah, I know.
And why did we come in on this gross man like pretending like you're a hooker? You're not even dressed like one. Right. First of all, and then for JJ to swoop in and be like, "Hey, babe, I'm sorry," but like get lost. I'm
that
just
part
like,
was a little weird.
I'm like, oh, so is this how you wanted us to like see them getting closer? And then when they were in Horton Town Square, like sitting with each other, my next thought was, she's been in jail for a long time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I did think that was kind of clever because they both kind of have a past.
Yes.
Yes. You know.
Yeah. Actually, I never put them together. I like them.
It'll be interesting to see. I'm not. Jack. Stop. Who's this? Janine Valentine. Get out of the chat room.
She's all leave Jack, make sure he's dead. Keep him dead.
Stop it. So yes. Funny. Thank you. Hashtag bring Jack back. Hashtag bring Jack back.
Reachin says when Gabby eventually finds out Paige is her sister, I'm curious if that will bring her and JJ close together.
Oh, that's right.
She don't know her
sisters.
Sister. They were sisters.
That's right.
And when that happens, I mean, I never thought of them two together ever, but I was like, these two little brunettes together are kind of cute.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
And they're not related. They're not related. So I mean,
we'll see what happens. Yeah. So. And then Adrian gets her letter.
Oh,
she didn't actually open it, though.
No.
But I will say this. I did love the scene at the end of Friday, I do believe, when she comes into the Kirak mansion and the lights were actually off.
Yes.
Like, I just thought...
It's nighttime.
Like, that was a... You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you come home and the lights... You're like, that's how my mind... You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I just think people are smarter now.
Yes.
With... You know, that kind of stuff. You know, and I loved the look of that. There were a couple other scenes that I thought were shot really well and differently than normal that I enjoyed. Although there was one scene, and I think it was when Clyde, his lawyer, and Roman were all came together in that room, and Clyde stands up.
Okay.
His back was to the camera, and he hid the lawyer and Roman. It was just such an odd shot, and it didn't look good. Just for the record, I'm watching.
Okay.
I don't know. But anyway, so Adrian gets her letter from about her, whether she has breast cancer. And then Lucas has a moment with her, which it kind of threw me because I'm like, so are they separating them? Are they staying together? Like, it just kind of like, pick a path. You know what I mean? I get that they're going to run into each other and talk, but again, it seemed like they were kind of bringing them back together now too. And I'm like, so why? I don't know.
Well, see, I never thought I'd be saying this. I said last 2 episodes, I'm actually like Adrian and Lucas. I'm actually really rooting for that.
Okay.
I don't know why. I hated them in the beginning.
He's about to blow.
Please do it. Please tell me.
Slowly. He's going to blow slowly.
The scene when Lucas came in and was discussing with Adrian the letter and everything like that, and their interaction, and then seeing Justin come in. For the first time, I actually kind of saw Adrian and Lucas.
Oh, there you go.
Shut the front door.
Yeah.
Door.
Well, because I think for the first time I was able to see the dynamics between Adrian and Lucas and Adrian and Justin.
Yes.
And what I liked was that this pure love and care and drama-free that came with that relationship versus I see what Adrian meant when she was at the edge of the court. She's like, we've known each other and been together for years, yet I feel like I'm on an audition. I'm nervous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because there's so many things that are unspoken.
Yep.
The fact that Justin cheated on her and tried to deny it, and the way that he acted towards her, and it wasn't until after all of that was discovered and they kind of went their separate ways that she then fell for Lucas.
Yes.
So I don't feel like, in my opinion, Adrian did anything wrong. I think humanly, what we do once we're out of one relationship, we're quick to get into another one. And I couldn't see Adrian Lucas. I was just like, I don't get this.
Same here, I couldn't either.
But for that moment, I could. And I think it's because there is this love and care, and I feel like she can truly be herself around someone that she's been getting to know and knows versus someone that she's been with for decades, and she feels like a total stranger. You know what I mean?
I totally agree with you. I totally agree. I said I never thought I'd see it. I see it.
Yeah.
I totally see it.
I saw it.
Okay,
I saw it. So, speaking of not so strangers, but strange people.
Yeah.
Brady and Teresa.
Yes.
strange.
Okay. As a former parent, I guess I'm still a parent. I didn't. Luckily, none of my kids went through colic. I lucked out. I've had friends who did. It is horrible. And as a former nurse, I used to see people who go through it. I mean, it is horrible to go through that. So when I first saw the baby crying a lot, I was like, it sounded like that to me. Automatically, I thought that's what it was. When they had to figure it out and kind of did. I was like, oh, that's what it can last for months. Mostly it lasts for maybe a few days or maybe a week, maybe, but it doesn't last that long. But I was like, that's an interesting thought to bring in to kind of get them closer together to bond over something. I don't know.
I thought it was cute. I liked the scene with them, and she fell asleep on the couch with him after, because that's, you know, I don't know. I like the real moments.
Getting in a car.
I'm clearly watching the wrong show for real moments.
When you get in a car to drive around, that's normal. That's a parent thing.
Also, Justin brought up to Brady, if he was falling for Teresa again, and he's like, no. But I find it interesting that he brought that up because I think, underliningly, Brady is falling for Teresa again. And I think that for the first time, when they were dealing with the colic and everything like that, that Teresa was being her authentic self.
Which is what we've talked about many times.
Yeah, and I think that she's really not this tough girl. She's this silly, goofy, girl, I think, who tries to hide behind a very tough exterior. So it was nice to see them kind of get along and be there for Tate and do things together and just be silly with one another.
Yeah. Carolyn, Topol, yes, as I said, as foreigners, I understand that the baby's a year old, I guess. Well, is it a year old yet? I don't even know if it's a year old yet. It's a little too old for colic. Usually happens when they're after birth or whatever, but you gotta suspend belief, I guess, is so. That's how I suspended it. Kind of did it that way. But yes, it's true.
I guess. Yeah.
That's true.
And then we saw Aiden. He's still kind of. Didn't he even say to Hope? Was it ended with him saying, "I have to tell you something"? Every one of his lines now is, "I have to tell you something. I have to tell you something." I don't know.
It's finally kind of revealed that he knew a little more about Clyde than he let Hope
He knows.
know about.
He knows.
But here's the thing: it's like, Hope, don't get mad because your nosy self would have
Absolutely
kind of messed
she
up
would've.
everything.
Absolutely.
So of course he had to kind of lie about it.
He had to.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And you're a cop. Like, what the fuck? I mean, oops, almost dropped it.
you did.
I did. Dang it.
You're worse than me.
I know. It's crazy.
So and then Aiden helping out with Clyde's conviction, kind of. Well, he hasn't been convicted, but holding him as far as finding that maybe now that's what we know that he had was some piece of evidence that stemmed from Florida.
Maybe
that made him now have to go to Florida. So I kind of saw that as Clyde's exit. I feel like we won't see him again.
I wonder.
I think we'll see it because I feel like it would be everywhere. His last episode is there. You know what I mean? They do that for everything now. So it's like he's clearly going to be back for something. He's not going away for long.
And then with Teresa and Brady, I think Teresa is starting to be redeemed a little bit. They're starting to kind of this week. Remember last week we were like, ugh. Yeah. This week they kind of show that she's trying. So hopefully they're.
We'll see.
We'll see.
All right, and that has been your week of days, but of course,
that was a week that was.
It was an interesting week. But we now are going into our segments, and we are going to start with my official 3 Snaps Award. Now, Billy Flynn will be happy to know that I almost gave it to him.
Yeah. Well, we actually talked about it this past weekend. He asked me, he's like, so the 3 snaps, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I said, no, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think he thought it was a bad thing.
Oh, no.
Because if you watch our episode when he was on, which I've done a few times, he actually says, he made a comment, and I didn't catch it the night that we were taping. He made a comment, I don't want to be your 3 snaps. And then I was like, oh, he thought it was a bad thing. So it is a good thing.
The 3 snaps, listen, when you give 3 snaps to something, that's something good.
Hello.
So that was for you, Billy, but not for this week. So
almost though.
Almost. But the person that I gave it to is someone who understands what it's like when you're having a rough day at work and you just can't take it anymore and you're done and you stand up and you say, I'm going home.
I loved it.
So my official 3 Snaps Award goes to Peter Reckle, Bo Brady, when he had enough of being tortured, stabbed, drugged,
serumed,
captive, and he finally looks at the people that has been holding him after he's beat them up, and he told him, I'm going home.
That's right.
Go Bo Brady.
Bo Brady.
He's going home. He's like, I gotta go home.
It was like
I laughed. I couldn't stop laughing. He was like, I'm done.
It's posted on my Instagram. I was like, I have to post this because it was just what you kind of feel him. Like you're like, he's just like, I'm done. I've had it. Yeah. It has been 3 years of this.
I'm too old for this mess. I'm ready to go home.
Yeah. So
yes, I like that.
There you go, Bo Brady. All right, and now James Lott Jr.
Yes.
Who's related?
Okay, kids. This has been something that's been a topic of conversation since he returned. It's been a topic in the chat room. I saw it today. Do we have the picture we can put up? Those are pictures. There he is. Teo Panglis. Look who's related. Andre and Tony DeMira. Okay, here is the deal. Hold on to your hat. Get a pen and paper. Well, I'm going to try to explain this as slowly as possible.
My headphones. I'm holding my headphones. Okay. I don't have a hat. I don't wear a hat.
Oh, you don't have hats. Okay. You guys aren't crazy. There have been some things that happened off camera and have not been explained. And here's the deal. Tony came first. Stefano
I was like, no, I didn't.
That's pretty funny. Stefano was the father, and his mother was Daphne DeMira.
Tony, you're talking about?
Yeah, talking about Tony.
Yes. Tony's mother is Daphne DeMira. Okay.
Yes. Through all stuff that went down throughout the whole thing, turns out that his real dad was Enrico the gardener. So his mother's still Daphne, but that means he's not related to Stefano at all. Not biologically. So, now, mind you, Andre came second, and he was introduced as a nephew of Stefano's. We don't know who his parents were, just a nephew of Stefano's. Tony and Andre came face to face in 1984. Then we find out later, all these, 20 years, from 84 to 2004, we thought Tony had been on the show. No. It was Andre impersonating Tony. So all that stuff that went on with Kristen and all that was not Tony. That was Andre. Tony was on an island. We found in 2009 was on an island. Mm-hmm. So they brought him back. So Andre is related to Stefano, of course, by blood. Tony isn't. Just to make sure we get that clear. He's just kind of been adopted like a son to him.
Got it.
Count Tony was presumed dead in 2009. So he's dead. So that's why he's not nowhere.
Tony's dead.
Got it. Andre's been dead 7 times, but come back. So this last time,
so he got 2 more lives.
Apparently. So Bo had shot Andre. I remember that. I remember that. Stefano had to pull the plug on him. I told him the whole scene and everything, and just it fade to black or whatever. So supposedly he died. Well, the reason why I brought him back off screen, it turns out he survived, and he's somehow Stefano's son. We still don't know who the mother is. We don't know how that came out to be. Andre. So we don't know how it is. So you guys aren't crazy. Somehow off screen, Andre became Stefano's son while Tony isn't his son. So
how do they look alike?
Because Andre got surgery to look like Tony. That's one of the storylines.
To impersonate him.
To impersonate him. And so that's why he looks like just like
facial
him.
reconstruction.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you,
Thank you, Cheryl. So what it turns out, they're not really cousins.
Poor Alyssa said, I'm already lost.
Exactly. It's crazy talk. So related wise, they're related through Stefano. Kind of adoptedly is how they're related, but they're really not related at all biologically, and that's who's related. And I'll post all this on Facebook so you see it.
Yes, all right. Yeah, so make sure you like us, follow us on Instagram and Facebook to get that whole rundown.
Yes, I'll do it.
Now, Mark, what is our quote of the week?
I want a sound effect. How do I get a sound effect?
You know what? You've been asking for a sound effect since February. No, it's not going to happen.
I'm going to start Googling sound effects so I can bring it in.
You know what? Let me give you your sound effect. Mark, what's your quote of the week?
Okay.
Oh, there you go. I'll take that.
I'll take that.
I like that.
All right, so this quote of the week, I actually have to perform it because it's not necessarily the line, but the way the line was presented.
Yes, do
it.
I
literally had tears rolling down my eyes because I could not stop laughing, and I probably rewound it 10 times.
I wish you had given me the line so I could give to you.
Yeah.
Because remember how we reenacted that phone call?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been good. I didn't write down his line, but it was the scene when Chad comes through the secret passage into the living room, and Andre's pushing Stefano around the house, and Andre says something to Stefano, and Chad's like, "Oh, I can hear you. I'm right here." Da, da, da. And then Andre says, I think Andre says, "So what are you gonna do?"
Okay. Wait.
Okay, hold on. I gotta read my line. Okay, go ahead.
Are you ready?
Okay, yeah.
So what are you gonna do?
I'm going to keep the pressure until we get him where we want him. I hope I did you justice, Billy. I could not stop laughing. It was brilliant. That is an actor listening to another actor and you watching it happen live, and it was fan-freaking-tastic. So, Billy Flynn, your count is now up to 4 quotes of the week.
Yes.
He's tied with Ari Zucker, and John Aniston still has the most with 5.
I wonder how many. I've never done this for the snaps. How many people have gotten snaps?
Yeah, I have a running list now because my friend I told you a couple weeks back he did a list. So I'm just going to keep adding to it. So I have my
list. Someone post my list. And let me know.
If you watch the show,
someone's got to go through.
Who's been?
Well, you don't have to go through the whole episode. Just jump to
the
3 snaps.
Yeah, and let me know.
I was very pleased with my friend. Thank you, Glenn Harbor, for doing that for me. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
For all the crap I give him on a regular basis. So thank you. Yes, perfect choice, Mark. Yes, I agree.
All right. So, and now let's go into some news and gossip.
All right.
And we're going to go right into it.
So, Miss Jen Lilly.
There it is.
All right.
So Miss Jen Lilly, a friend to the show and just one of my personal heroes, it's going to be in a Lifetime movie. Isn't that exciting? It's called The Spirit of Christmas. It'll be on December 19th, so around that whole time of Halloween.
Week after my birthday.
Your birthday's in December? Oh, funny.
Sagittarius, can't you tell?
You chatty.
I thought you were a Gemini.
Oh, oops. Two-faced.
Rude.
Oh, my God.
Rude.
She plays a woman who falls in love with a ghost. And so it should be a fun little thing for her. It should be fun.
Interesting.
And so we have Lifetime, December 19th. Check your local listings. I actually can say that. DVR it, whatever. You can't watch it, it's around the holiday time. And Jen Lily's just she's the bomb. So
Did we have a picture for that?
Yeah, we did.
Is it up there?
Just a picture of Jen Lily.
Oh,
look how beautiful she is. Love Jen. Love you, Jen.
So there was a tweet that went out that Eric Martzoff recorded a song with his Dollywood co-star Holly Norman. There's not a lot of details out about the song, but we should be expecting it soon. So congrats on that.
There was a little singing too with Jen and Eric this week.
Oh the ragtime song or whatever. Yeah,
they're good singers too, so that's what's good.
Oh yeah. So be on the lookout for that.
I wonder if they could record an opening jingle for our AfterBuzz show.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Whose idea was that? Jen, if you're watching, get on it.
That would actually be really
How
funny.
fantastic would that be? Just saying, just put it out there. Put it in the universe. Also in news and gossip, I noticed that Andriana Manfredi, I hope I'm saying her name right, who played Roxanne, one of my favorites.
Yes.
I know she wasn't there. She was not there long, but I loved her. She is now on Twitter. It's Andriana559 if you want to follow her. She was just on this last episode of Grandfathered on Fox. I have it recorded. I actually started recording it this season to see it, and I think it's a cute show.
Yes,
so I'm excited to see her on it. So if you haven't seen it, I'm sure though we'll re-air everything 800 times so you can watch it online. But she's on, I think, this past week's episode of Grandfathered with John Stamos.
Now, Mark, you traveled over to Niagara Falls.
I did.
For Flynn at the Falls.
I did.
And, are those goodies for us?
No, not at all.
We get nothing.
But it is something I want to share.
Okay.
No, we had a great time. I want to get a shot, I don't have everybody's name because there were more people there, but these are the names that I remembered that I wrote down. Tina, Tanya, Sarah, of course, Joni, Patty, Alicia, Dale, and Ashley. Fantastic. They were. Everybody was
and speaking of
fantastic.
Joni, thank you, Joni, for helping us get Freddie.
With Freddie as well.
Yes, thank you
She
very
was
much.
fantastic. She took a lot of the pictures and stuff that we are going to be posting from the event. It was fantastic. But something that I just do normally when I travel, I'm a Christmas person, so I love my Christmas tree. And I always buy an ornament whenever I travel to a new place that has the name. So when I decorate my tree and I put a date on it and, go through all my travels as I decorate my tree. So when I got there, Sarah said, what do you want to do? Do you want to see the falls? I'm like, no, I need an ornament. So after the event, me, Sarah, and Billy went shopping for my Christmas tree ornament, and we went into the store, and I saw this ornament, and I grabbed it, and I was like, oh, that's cute. And then it was like, it said $29, and I was like, what? And that's Canadian money, so it was only like $10. So I was holding it and like, oh my God, it's $29. And Billy grabbed it out of my hand, and he said, I'm going to buy it for you. So Billy bought me my Niagara Falls Christmas tree ornament, which I'd love to thank him for. And he actually signed the bottom, XOXO Billy Flynn, and we dated it so that I will always.
Very nice.
He's my when I do my Horton tree.
That's right.
I got my Billy Flynn ornament,
beautiful.
so that was fantastic. And everybody was so wonderful. We had such a great time. I will say this. I mean, I've never really been to any other fan events, but it was small but mighty, and I think everybody who was there really thoroughly enjoyed how wonderful Billy was, and literally just sat and for hours and just talked to everybody, and everyone got to ask their questions and spend the day with him. And I think it was so different from any other fan event, because it's like usually you get your 5 minutes, you hope that you make an impression, you get to find out maybe one thing that you wanted to know and hope that somebody else asks another question that you wanted to know. And I think everybody thoroughly enjoyed it, and Billy was amazing.
And you brought some pictures as well.
Oh yeah, there's Billy going over the falls. And I think there's one of a group of them going over the falls too. I'm not sure if we have that one
that's
too.
Hilarious.
And there's a couple other ones. There it is. That was on Saturday. That was before I got there. So I am not on that barrel going over the falls, unfortunately. And I think there may be a couple. I don't know how many.
There are a few fans that
There's
you met.
Joni. There's Joni. She was fantastic. She said you taught her how to do selfies.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
So
she's like, we got to do a selfie.
Yes.
And then there's Ashley, and she
Ashley from Canada.
Yeah. And she actually came, and I got to meet her, and I guess everybody from the picks her up. So it's like, well, I gotta pick you up. So we took a picture of me holding
so
Ashley. She
funny.
was fantastic. And I think there's maybe one more. Yeah, and there's Sarah. Sarah's the one who put everything together, and she was fantastic and very accommodating and helpful. And we had a great time. And we're hoping to maybe do another.
Oh, I hope so.
Well, sure.
And I hope you make it on time.
Well, I made it on time. I literally walked in.
With 1 minute to spare.
At 12:01. I think I literally walked into the thing at 12:01.
That's so crazy.
And people are nice in Canada. I don't care what anyone says. They were all very nice to me.
Well, speaking of fan events and Billy Flynn, on next Saturday, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's coming up so quickly. We have the Dual Coast event in Boston. I will be hosting the Mixer. So if you plan on attending the Mixer, make sure you wear your favorite t-shirt. There is a reason. So make sure you wear your favorite t-shirt. But come and meet a slew of day stars. The schedule has kind of changed, so make sure you go to dualcoastevents.com to find out. I'll be there hosting the Mixer. James Lott Jr. is going to be there. So come, meet us. Have a good time. It's going to be fun. Tickets are still available, and make sure you go to dualcoastevents.com.
And also, coming up in Canada a week after that, Stars Canada Events has their event with Greg Vaughn and Chandler Massey, two great guys, October 24th. For more on that, you can go to starscanadaevents.com. And for details and tickets, they're two great guys. We know Chandler, of course, friends of the show. Greg was on General Hospital one time, so I knew him from there. So he's a great guy. So it'll be good.
Good. Yeah. And then also on just to add to this all these comings backs to the show. I don't know. Daquan, I hope you're listening. And I'm sure you've got your DV all set already.
Yes.
But Allison Sweeney will be back tomorrow on the show, and we'll see what happens when Mama Sammy finds out that her firstborn
Sammy.
Oh my God.
Listen, and Sammy's a killer. So listen, remember Sammy shot EJ in the head?
That's right.
Hello?
Well, and speaking of EJ, we also find out that she finds out that he's still alive. So
what?
Yeah. That's the rumor.
I did hear
that they're talking about that when she comes back, she finds out that he's alive, and so now that what takes her away is to go.
I did hear that kind of rumor.
Oh Lord, she's gonna pull a Steve and go find her.
Yes.
Y'all tried it. Y'all tried it.
Yep.
All right. So, and really quickly, predictions.
I have one.
What's that?
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I wasn't even expecting that, but I guess I timed my water drinking perfectly. I think, and we kind of knew this already, so it's not like this is breaking news or anything, but I just really think with this Will death, it's leading me to believe that there will be more fan favorites going on the wayside. Because clearly they don't have a bar, or a cutoff to where they want to go with it. And I think just because of all this stuff with Hope and Rafe, and I can't imagine that they're going to keep pushing Hope to Rafe and Rafe to Hope and have Bo there. So I think Bo may be
okay.
I don't.
And I know everyone's going to tweet me and be like, I'm not writing it, clearly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have killed the gays.
I am going to just be with open arms and let them.
So you're going to be a whore?
A Horton? Yes. A Horton. Yeah. I will say, I think that I will be appearing in an episode coming up.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, for real.
Okay.
For realsies. Because you guys know I do background work sometimes.
Okay.
And I think an episode that I filmed is coming up. So
look out for it.
I think I'm going to make that a contest because this one is this hashtag Spot Tony is a little difficult.
Okay.
So look for that this week. I think it's coming up.
It says Sammy gets a letter that she finds from EJ left for her. I don't know how he wrote a letter.
Yeah, I know, but that's
if he is dead. Technically.
Yeah.
And I love you too, Jeannie.
And before we go, we have the announcement of our Facebook winner who will win a pack of signed headshots. Now, I do have a great gift. We do have a great gift available for our Instagram followers, but I will not tell you what it is until we get to 500 followers. So make sure you go to Instagram 500. And follow us. And when we get to 2,000 on our Facebook, we will I keep saying I. That sounds so.
It's okay.
Talk about me. We will release another.
I'm not really listening to you anyway, so it doesn't matter.
We'll release another giveaway, which is 15 minutes with Billy Flynn. No, I'm kidding.
I'm listening.
He totally wakes
You
up.
can't have my ornament. You can't have my ornament.
So, Mark J. Freeman, who is the winner from our Facebook page?
What was the name again? It was Ruby Love. Ruby Love was something else. Something.
It's Ruby
But I
something Judas Love. It was like a fourth name.
Yeah. And since I'm a Love and she's a Love,
Yeah,
why
you're
not?
Loves. Your cousins.
Why not?
Well, congratulations to
And
you.
it's because she wanted Billy to come back to the show.
And your profile picture was Hope.
And our profile
We
picture
picked
was
it
out.
together.
Yeah.
So it works.
Yeah.
All right, so you are the winner. We will be contacting you through Facebook. Just send us your address, and we will send you those headshots.
That doesn't mean that I will always pick the person.
Yeah, we don't
This is true. So before we head out, guys, where can they find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Lorraine Love, LORAYNELOVE, and on Facebook /the Mark J. Freeman.
You can follow me on Twitter at Black Hope LA, and then if you're a General Hospital fan, stay tuned. I'm doing GH Report next at 5:30.
Yeah.
That's right. And of course, you guys can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony or my website, loungingwithtony.com. And quickly, you guys, if you want to see more of your Days of Our Lives stars right here, tweet at Days of Our Lives. Look for the little official check mark and tweet them and let us know who you would like to see on the show.
Yeah.
We will see you next Sunday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, followed by GH Report.
Yes.
Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, everybody. Mwah.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.